What's going on? Back with another one. We're going into 2025, and I'm pretty sure everybody has heard about a 401k. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about a 401k. If you're at a job, you're probably investing in one. But I've been talking to a lot of people. I come across a lot of people every single day. And yes, they are invested in a 401k, but they don't necessarily know how it works. They don't know what that 401k is invested in. They don't know if their company has a match. They don't even know what percentage they're putting in. You know, there's a lot more. They don't know if they have a traditional or a Roth. They haven't went in and put in beneficiaries. So with the 401k, it's not a complicated investment vehicle, but there are some intricacies. There are things that you need to know. You can't just be invested into it blindly. When you're a smart, intelligent investor, you have to know where your money's going and you have to be able to take control of your 401k, not just be allocating money towards it. Because your company could be matching up to a certain point and your company's matching here, you're putting in down here. You're leaving free money on the table. You see what I'm saying? So we have to know what's going on with our 401k. So with that being said, let's look here. We are on Investopedia. We're on Investopedia, and I've talked about this website a lot. If you want to know anything about different investment terms, pretty much anything, this is a great resource. Investopedia is an amazing resource. Go on there, look around, explore a little bit. So let's look into it. We're talking about 401ks. What is a 401k? A 401k is a tax advantage retirement savings plan. So when we're talking about tax advantage, when you're putting in a traditional 401k, let's just make it easy math. Say you made $100,000 in 2024, but you put $10,000 into your traditional 401k. That $10,000 will be subtracted from what you made. So if you put $10,000 into your 401k, you would only report 90,000. You would only have to pay taxes on the 90,000. The $10,000 that you put into your traditional 401k would be tax free for now. And that's when the Roth 401k comes in. If you put money in a Roth 401k, you pay the taxes up front. You pay the taxes up front because you're betting, okay, you may say, I want to pay the taxes now because I'm thinking the taxes may be higher later on. So I'm gonna pay the taxes now, then I get the tax-free growth. If you go to traditional 401k route, you're gonna put the money in now. It's gonna be tax advantaged. So it's gonna reduce your taxable income, but you're going to pay taxes later on the growth of that account once you get ready to retire. You got me? So let's keep going. So we talked about that. When it comes to the 401k, we have the traditional 401k and then we have a Roth. Also, a 401k plan is a company sponsored retirement account in which employees can contribute a percentage of their income. Employers often offer to match at least some of their contribution. So that is standard. Every company that I've worked for matched up to a certain point. The company I work for now, they put a certain amount in there whether I invest or not. And then they also match me up to another certain amount. So that's why it's important if you're working for any company you're working for, whether you go talk to HR, somebody, a manager, a supervisor, find out what your company is offering. Find out if they're putting anything in there, whether you contribute or not. Find out what they're willing to match you on your contributions. And I always like to say, at least match the contribution. We don't want to leave any free money on the table. We want to at least match that contribution. See? So with that, when I'm talking about matching the contribution, if your company is going to put in 5%, that means if you at least put in 5%, your money will be doubled every time you get paid, whether it be every week, every 2 weeks. Like for me, I get paid every 2 weeks. So if I put in $600 every 2 weeks, say $600 for me is 5%, and my company matches 5%. If I put in $600 and that's my 5%, and my company's matching 5%, that means $1,200 is going to go into my 401k every 2 weeks. So that's why I say you want to at least get up to that match so that you're not leaving any free money on the table. So let's keep going. How do you start a 401k? Well, Every company I've been on to, when you go through onboarding, that's kind of something they have you start. I'm not sure. That's another question you may have specifically for your company. You want to make sure that you have indeed enrolled and got that 401k set up. That's definitely something that's important. I'm not sure what every company does. That's why you need to go talk to HR, whoever you need to talk to at your company, especially if this is a job you've recently started, or you may have been at a job for a long time and you've never looked into it. You've never looked into it. Now is a good time. Now is a good time. Know what's going on with that 401k. Know what's going on with it. Find out the company match. Find out if you're in traditional or Roth. Again, make sure what if you want the tax advantages now, you may go traditional. If you say, okay, I want to pay my taxes now and don't want to have to worry about it later, you can go Roth. Or you could go both. You could go both. I've had it before where I was maybe putting in 50% traditional and 50% Roth. Set it up however you want to set it up. You got me, but you got to go find out, you know, what the company match is. Make sure you're actually enrolled in the 401k and find out which one you want to do, traditional or Roth. Okay. So if we go down how 401ks work, the 401ks were introduced in the 1980s. Traditional 401k plans allow employees to make pre-tax contributions from their salaries up to certain limits. When a worker signs up for a 401k, they agree to deposit a percentage of each paycheck directly into an investment account. Employers often match part or all of that contribution. Employers are also responsible for choosing the specific investments. Employees are also responsible for choosing the specific investments held in their 401k accounts from a selection that their employee offer. Those offerings. Okay, this is something I want to talk about. This is important. A lot of times, your companies will automatically invest you in things, whether it's a target date fund, whether it's a mutual fund. Every company does not allow you to go in and manually pick, what you're going to be investing in, whether it's stocks, whether it's ETFs, whatever. You need to. That's another thing you need to find out. That's another thing you need to find out. For me, for instance, I'm able to pick and choose whatever I want to invest my 401k in. I can invest my 401k in anything I would invest in my individual account. I can invest in Tesla if I want, Apple if I want, Palantir if I want, SoFi if I want, AMD if I want. I can invest in dividend ETFs like SCHD. I can invest in any dividend stocks, growth stocks, ETFs like VOO, VTI, QQQ, SPY. You need to know if you have that capability. If not, go through the list of whatever your company has for your options and talk to sometimes if you're like my company, my 401k is with Fidelity. I know you can call Fidelity and speak to someone, or my company also has people that you can speak to, like advisors and stuff like that. Maybe speak to a fiduciary. That would be a great way to go. Speak to somebody, see what your options are, see what your options are that company has for you to invest that 401k in. If you can't go invest manually in things that you want, and decide which one's going to work best for you. Look at those annual returns and look at whatever they have you in. I want you to look at the holdings. What companies are in those holdings? When I talked about investor identity in another video, you may want to invest, they may have a US large cap option. Where it's heavy in Nvidia and Apple and Microsoft and Tesla, into those kind of like Mag 7 top 10 stocks that would be at a S&P 500 or NASDAQ. Or they may have something else, like certain mutual funds or different things that are a little more safer, that's not as volatile. So you need to talk to a fiduciary and investment financial expert, because this is not financial advice. This is just me giving you just the ground level, the basis information that you need to be able to take control of your 401k. Take control of your 401k, because let me let you know something. If you don't know what your 401k is invested in, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you don't know what the company match is, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you don't know if you can take, once you start getting more high level in your investment journey, and you start learning how to read financials, listening to earnings calls, and you start getting more into the investing, if your 401k gives you the capability to go in and select your own investments, that's game changing. That's extremely game changing. But understand, investing comes with risk. So just know that. Also, when we're talking about 401k, we talked about traditional 401ks. We talked about Roth 401ks. With the traditional 401k, employee contributions are deducted from the gross income. This means the money comes from your paychecks before income taxes have been deducted. As a result, your taxable income is reduced by the total contributions for the year and can be reported as a tax deduction for the tax year. No taxes are due on the money contributed or the investment earnings until you withdraw the money, usually in retirement. And you can take money out for different things. You can take a loan out against your 401k, which we don't advise doing. Only reason I would say it's okay, maybe if you were buying a home or a property or something like that. But we don't like to touch the 401k because we like to take advantage of compounding interest and that growth But the Roth 401k, like I said, the Roth 401k is you pay that tax up front. With the Roth 401k, contributions are deducted from your after tax income. This means you contribute from your pay after income taxes have been deducted. As a result, there is no tax deduction in the year of the contribution. When you withdraw the money during retirement, though you don't have to pay any additional taxes on your contribution or on the investment earnings. So you gotta decide which one is more important to you right now. You want the tax deduction, or do you want to go ahead and pay those taxes up front? Got to decide what works best for you. But now you know, so you can make that decision. 401k plan contribution limits. Traditional and Roth 401k plans are defined contribution plans. Both the employee and the employer can contribute to the account up to the dollar limit set by the Internal Revenue Service (IRS). The maximum amount an employee or an employer can contribute to a 401k plan is adjusted periodically to account for inflation, which measures rising prices. For 2024, the annual limit on employee contributions to a 401k is $23,000 for workers under age 50. In addition, those age 50 or older can make a 7,500 catch-up contribution. So that lets you know if you can put in up to, as of 2024, $23,000 into that 401k. So that means if you can afford to do that and you can afford to max out that 401k every single year, you're reducing your taxable income big time. That means less taxes, less money to Uncle Sam. You see what I'm saying? If you can afford to max out that 401k, look at it like this. You're paying yourself or you're going to give the money to the pay yourself or the government's going to take it. That's how I look at it every year. I'm going to put the money into my 401k, put the money into an investment vehicle and max that thing out, or the government's going to take more in taxes. Who do you want to have your hard-earned money? You or the government? That's how you got to look at it. So if you can put in as much as you can afford to put in, and drop that taxable income if you're going the traditional route. So, told you employee matching, find out what your employee is matching. Find out what your employee is matching. It says for workers under 50 years old, the combined limit for both employee and employer contributions is $69,000 per year. If the catch-up contribution for those 50 or older is included, the combined limit is 76,500. Employers who match employees' contributions use various formulas to calculate that match. For instance, an employee might match 50 cents for every $1 that the employee contributes. That's pretty good. Up to a certain percentage of salary. Vanguard estimates that about 4 in 10 companies have 401k matching contributions of up to 6% of their employees' wages. Only 10% of the companies offer more than that. Find out what your company matches. Find out what your company matches, especially if you work for a big company, because so I can tell you right now, my match is very good. My match is very good. Find out what your company matches and meet that match if you can. And if you can't meet it right now, every time you may get a pay raise it up a half a percent or a percent or a quarter percent if you can to creep up and get up to that match over time if you can't get to it now. So, how does your 401k earn money? When you contribute to your 401k account, your money is invested according to your choices from the options your employee offers. Those typically include an assortment of target date funds and mutual funds. I told you my company had me in a target date fund. I said no bueno. Get me out of that thing. It's not enough growth for me. I'm I'm experienced enough as an investor where my own individual accounts are doing much higher growth than my 401k was before I took control of it. I said no. I found out that I had the ability to invest it in anything that I wanted to invest it in. And ever since then, I've taken control of that account and I've kind of played with it as if it was my own individual account. And I choose what that thing is going into. And I have a mix of different growth stocks, dividends, you know. So find out if you can take control of that thing. Find out if you can take control of that thing. You put money in your 401k, things that they may, if you can't get out of it, at least find the best option available that they have for you to choose from. Find the best option, look at the numbers, look at the growth, look at the annual returns, look at the holdings, and make your decision from there. But 401k, so we talk about that. That's how your 401k makes money over time. You're getting compounding interest, your contributions, your company's contributions, whatever investments they have you in, those are growing in value. And that's how you're making money in your 401k. So when we talk about 401k withdrawals, once your money goes into a 401k, it can be difficult to withdraw without paying taxes on the amount. Make sure that you still save enough on the outside for emergencies and expenses you may have before retirement. Earnings in a 401k account are tax deferred for traditional 401k accounts and tax free for Roth accounts. When you withdraw from a traditional 401k, that money which has never been taxed will be taxed as ordinary income. With the Roth, you've already paid income tax on the money you contributed, so you don't owe taxes on withdrawals if you satisfy specific requirements. You must be at least 59 and a half or meet IRS criteria for a hardship withdrawal. When you start making withdrawals, or you will face a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of any other income tax you owe. Now, I'll say this. That is true. If you withdraw early, they can't hit you with that penalty. But find out kind of what your company has as far as guidelines with that, and as well as the brokerage you're with, because there are some times where you can take loans out against your 401k and different hardships that you can take where you may not get hit with that penalty, but you will have to pay taxes on the withdrawal. So that could be on a play by play basis, man. So do your research, get with your company, get with Fidelity, not Fidelity, get with your brokerage, get with your company, see what those guidelines are, see what you can get going. If you do have to take a hardship withdrawal, if you did want to take a withdrawal, maybe for the down payment on a home, maybe for education costs for your kids, anything like that, just get with your company, get with your brokerage, and see what you guys can work out. Now, required minimum distributions. Investors who are retired must start taking RMDs from their 401k plans at age 73. The amount of RMD is calculated based on your life expectancy at the time. So, 401ks versus brokerage accounts. Both brokerage and 401k accounts are investment accounts, but they serve different purposes. A 401k is primarily for retirement savings, while a brokerage account can be used for various financial goals and often offer more controls over the investment. So, in a nutshell, that's what a 401k is. I want you to take control of your 401k. Don't blindly just be in it. Don't not know what your company's matching. Don't not know what your contribution is. Don't not know what your 401k is invested in. Don't not know if you can take control and pick your own investments. You see what I'm saying? Know if you're traditional. Know if you're Roth. Know, are you maxing out that 401k? Can you afford to up your percentage? Can you afford to put more in? I want you to be paying attention to all these things so that you can take control of your 401k, so that you can build wealth faster, so that you can retire earlier. You can get off that corporate plantation. You're not having a slave at a job because you took your finance journey seriously. And for most people, the 401k may be the only investment vehicle you're in. If you're watching this channel, that's not the only one you're in, because we're going to get you started on many other investment vehicles. We're going to get you started in your own individual investment account on top of the 401k, because We ain't just selling for the 401k. We're not just selling for that. We're gonna invest in that, and we're gonna take some outside money and invest it elsewhere. But take control of your 401k. It's 2025, man. Take control of that 401k. Know what it's invested in. Hey, that's your homework. That's your homework. Monday. Soon as Monday get going, man. If you don't know the answers to these questions, go find out and take control of it today. If you do know the answers, great. You already took control of your 401k. You are the master of your own financial future in that aspect. But match that thing. Match the company contributions. Max it out, you know? And like I say, from the day I found out that I could take control of my 401k and invest it into what I wanted to invest it in, tremendous. The gains out of here. Way crazier. If I would have done it sooner, the money would have been insane. The money would have been insane. But now, see, and that was my ignorance back then, 6, 7 years ago, not doing my due diligence. And it cost me dearly. I know it cost me dearly. It's probably costing me tens, if not six figures, tens of thousands of dollars, if not six figures. So take control of your 401k today. Find the answers to these questions and let me know in the comments, man. If you got any value from this, let me know if you're taking control of your 401k. Let me know if you're making your own investments in your 401k. Let me know if you're at your company match. Let me know if you're maxing out your 401k. If you're team Roth, your team traditional 401k, man. Let me know if you got any value from this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all dearly. Thank you. Tune in to the next one. I'll see y'all later, man.